Okay, welcome back everyone to another Grand Cross video, and today it is the 4th, which is one day later than what I would normally do for this video. So Grand Cross actually released on the 3rd of March? It was like 4 months ago now, and I wanted to keep up a little series on this channel where we do a tier list every month on the 3rd day. But yesterday was a big day as well because we had news of Final Boss Merlin and Escanor coming, the red one, and possibly URG for Escanor coming literally in 3 days from now. And yeah, I guess we just delayed this video by one day, which is fine because today also is the day where we can actually farm books on our actual default Sargeras event. And right now it's half stamina, so you can farm books, get tons of gold. And we did make a video a while ago, I think 2 weeks ago now, when the last one was, where you can just pretty much farm hundreds, millions of gold, and how all the best players pretty much take advantage of this new little system. Is it new? No, it's not new. The new little half stamina book thing where you can just get like we got like what 4 million gold in like a day. It was pretty sick. But anyway, firstly, I want to say if you're new, definitely subscribe because last video got my last tier list got around 10k views. And yeah, if you're new, definitely subscribe. We're doing Grand Cross content daily. Not as much PvP videos as I would like, but that should change in the next few weeks, hopefully, depending if things go well with a new PC. But regardless, let's get into the actual, I guess, tier list. Couple new characters this month. We did have a double banner for Melascula, so that's new. I guess we were just doing order of release. Okay, so now these are organized in order of release. You can still see them on the side because I have a little layout for it. But we are going to change some things first. So obviously each tier list, we do like to change some things around and then also add the new characters. So if I don't talk about a character now that I don't, I guess, change, just go back and watch the previous ones where we talk about it, and that should be all good. So couple things I want to change. Firstly, start with this guy. I think I'm definitely going to move up Mediolis. I think definitely forgot about him. He definitely is a decent SR. I think yeah, I think there was a debate about him being actually pretty good. So yeah, as an SR, he's not bad. And one thing I want to take into consideration is, well, I guess I don't want to actually. We do now have reverse stages, which means certain characters you actually still want to level up. So like, let's see, this Hauser, Dreyfus, for example, you want to get these guys to a high level. But that's pretty much it. That's all you're really using them for. And Training Cave. Training Cave's a thing as well, which do feature some characters. So I think for that, I'm going to put up Jillian. Jillian's one used quite a lot, and I think out of all these SRs, maybe I think the blue one, because the blue one has Rupture, which is quite decent. So I think out of the actual SRs here, them two are the only really good ones that you are worth going to put in. And this guy here, I did forget to put him in. So he, if I remember properly, he decreases or no, increases red related stats for like defense or taken, I think, in PvP. So he's only really used in PvP, and I'm going to put him in the don't use because his passive isn't strong enough to actually warrant him putting him into PvP, since there are so many better units. Like Merlin, for example, give me that extra orb, plus the fact that she is an SSR when this guy is an SR, so he doesn't have the cosmetics, he don't have the actual CC to give you that extra boost to warrant the actual yeah, to warrant the passive being quite trash. Okay, the final boss Gopher event did just leave, so I think some characters would have been affected by it. I think Merlin would have been pretty sick. And from that, I think we're going to move up Hauser to the S tier. The fact that this guy is still relevant is amazing. He is pretty much used right now, especially since we do have a new character down here. It's just, yeah, he's super good right now for almost anything. Even when it was the final boss Gopher, when we had him, he was used, even though he was a character, he was still being used. And yeah, he still has UR gear. Well, one of the few people that have UR gear. I guess now it's not really few because they're adding a lot more characters now. Yeah, so Hauser definitely a must use. And do we put Merlin down? I'm not sure. No, I think Merlin's still usable. No, definitely one of the best still. She definitely is one of the best passives. So a full slot in PvP is pretty sick. Overall, the shield that she gives, not that many characters do that right now. So I think they're still quite good. And yeah, I guess I should say as well, this tier list is based on not PvP, more or less overall content to the game. So I think the fact you can bring her in mostly every single deathmatch is pretty good because that shield is huge. Survives a lot as well, so I think it's pretty good, especially the ultimate gauge. And overall, her stats, her ultimate, the moving ultimate gauge is pretty sick on almost everything. story-wise, everything's just pretty good. So I think, yeah, she's definitely going to stay there. Arthur, I'm going to move down just for now. We do have a little Escanor coming this week, which obviously will be in the next tier list, which Arthur's going to love. But considering right now it's kind of a Pierce meta, that being Meliodas and Hauser, you're not really using much Arthurs. You're not seeing much Arthurs either, because he's going to get nuked straight away. I guess that goes the same for King. King kind of dies a lot as well, so I guess... Do we move down King? He's not being used a lot. He's not... You can't really use him in PvP anymore, because he's going to get nuked super hard. Yeah, okay, let's do this. We're going to move him down. Only because there's a new King, and you can't use 2 Kings in each team. So I think we might end up seeing... Yeah, this guy right now sits well in A tier. Jericho... Gonna move down to B. She's kind of fallen off quite a bit now. She isn't used in the Fana boss. It's not Fana boss, in the actual guild boss. So that's one of the big uses gone out of the game. You can't use her in PvP no more. She's gonna get one-shotted. You can use her in some stages, like the death matches, but then again, you're not really using her as much because we just have better characters. And then also PvP, you could use her, but once again, there's so much more better characters. So I think she's fallen off quite a bit. She's still usable in all of those things, but there's just better options now rather than her being sat there. Okay, so someone left a comment about Twizo. He actually decreased his damage taken by 20% in PvP. Not the craziest thing. And once again, in PvP right now, it's really like heavily, you know, yeah, no, don't use him. He's not that good. Obviously, him being a rare is quite bad because you don't have the CC potential, and since you're not going to bring him over someone like the new King, and I think that about wraps it up for Elizabeth. We're going to move up. I think she's actually more usable now since overall content story mode's pretty good. Farming quest, if you haven't got the team for it, she cannot heal up the team if she dies first. She's usable in the training caves very well actually, and the fact that you can have her at a low level is pretty good as well. And then I think one of the Barnes. Okay, moving on to Barn as well. Barn's used for the Red Demon. Pretty solid character since he does decrease their attack related stats. Just the fact you can actually use him, I guess, the main thing. Him and the Red one are pretty decent for the death matches. And I think that about wraps up the actual changes. Maybe move up Barn. Yeah, Bond, there's a lot. Nah, I think we keep him there. I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of him now. I guess these guys here are kind of exceptional people. Deanne, you could use. I think she's still strong, but I think we're going to move it down. I don't think she has the same impact. I think she has the same problem as the Green Bond. That you're not really going to get ultimate off pretty quick. She's probably going to die before that. Plus, her skills aren't the greatest. Her AoE damage from a rank 1 card isn't the greatest. She can disable attacks, but Medios, for example, the blue one, you can't disable his attacks. So, yeah, she's not that good no more. I think that about does it. Green King only really used... No, we'll put Green King there because I think he's a replacement for Escanor in the guild bosses if you don't have a solid green attacker. And I think he's actually kind of decent to use. And since it is kind of a blue meta right now on PvP, you could throw him in to do some damage because obviously King's ultimate does tons of damage. But then again, Hauser is a thing. So, yeah, you're probably not going to use him. But still, decent character overall. And the fact he has a 100% crit chance when he's like fully orbed up is kind of sick. Yeah, I think that about does it. These guys here are kind of just like for associations, I guess, the SRs. I'm not really seeing any association potential here for these guys. I know you can use this one, a Deanne for Meliodas, so you could, but you're not going to use a D Meliodas. So yeah, you're not really using any Meliodases. And then, yeah, I think that about does it. I guess Jericho and the Houses, there's no point leveling them up because you can actually get them 6/6 pretty easy on the SSR versions. So I think that about wraps it up there. And now we just move on to the new characters. So we're going to go in order of release. So firstly, we do have the new Green Deanne, the skinny one, who taunts at the start of the match, which is kind of decent. Haven't seen much of her. Obviously, I don't have her. I did pull for her, spent 600 damage for her, but we didn't get her. I think she fits well in the B. Actually, no, wait, do we? I don't think she's... like, you'd probably rather bring Valenti, right? Story mode, you could taunt. I think it's quite hard to say, you know, because okay, so she doesn't make a difference in guild boss. It doesn't make a difference in death matches because, I mean, if you're taunting, you don't really need that since most of them do AoE damage. A lot of bosses, especially in story mode, once again do AoE damage, and you kind of rather bring an actual blue Dian rather than this one. So I think for right now we're going to put it there. Once again, I think we'll put next to the blue Dian association for King, so that's not bad. And yeah, I really like this Dian. I really want to get her, so hopefully one day we do get her. But yeah, as a character, she didn't change too much since she taunts, but then we have a mostly like an AoE meta right now. So I mean, the taunt really doesn't do much since you're in everyone anyway. Lilia, blue Lilia, I think we all can agree she's going here. She provides so much potential for pretty much all of these three characters here. Escanor, Hauser, and Diomedes is pretty much ruining PvP right now. The fact there's so much going on like that. And then I think that we should lead on to King. I'm going to put into A, B. His only real use is PvP, so I think that kind of drags him down a bit since this is the overall tier list. In any other case, yeah, he's literally only used for PvP, and I think he normalizes the meta. But once again, he's still not changing as much. I think the main guys being the problem are the ones at the top. So him coming in, just supporting them, well, fixing it a bit, isn't too meta-ish, like too crazy. I think he definitely is a really good character for only PvP. But as just, like, I guess an overall thing, you're not going to use him in any raid bosses. You're not going to use him in story mode. You're probably not going to use him in anything apart from PvP. So other than that, I think he sits well in B tier next to the new Dian. Funny enough, both of them together. And that is about to gonna wrap it up. So new Melascula. Okay, so you can see here, increase hero's basic stats by 1% for each orb filled in the ultimate move gauge of both allies and enemies. So her stats are going to get pretty high. You can get that quite high, I guess. I guess there's no stack to it. It just goes up regardless. This one here, commandments obviously do affect both you and your team. So at the end of the turn, apply 2 ignite effects, which for 5 turns, well, that's quite mad, if no one's used a skill in PvP. So once again, only really used in PvP. And yeah, I guess her skills right here, the blue one, aren't too crazy. Like you have detonate, obviously, or this was an AoE attack. This does more damage against all people if they have ultimate gauges. And in this one, restrict recovery related stats. But then again, you can just purify it. So this one, yeah, and it's only to one person. So you're going to really only use that on Lilia. But then Lilia can just purify it. So yeah, not too crazy. You probably wouldn't even use her in PvP. I think she's just well next to Gand. I don't think she's good at all. I think the red one's actually quite a bit better, and we'll go into the B tier. So if we go to her stats, okay, so the red one a little bit better. Once again, she still has the same actual commandment as the blue one, and her passive here, fixed HP at 1. Oh right, so yeah, this way is so when the character dies, they will actually stay alive. What, 2 turns? No, 3 turns. So this one, it's been limited once, but you can see here. So it's anything, right? And she has to be in the field, so she can't be in the full slot, so that's kind of a drawback, I guess. But the fact that this passive is quite good, you can actually keep it on live. But I think you can remove the buff, because I think it's a blue buff, so you can probably just remove it and then kill him later on. So that, once again, being a useful passive, not too bad. She also inflicts blaze, which is more damage per ignite onto a target. So this one, obviously, coming in quite well with her actual commandment. The blue one doesn't really do that, so I think that's actually kind of good that she does that. And in this one here, inhales 8% of max HP of all enemies for 2 turns. And so it decreases the target's max HP and recovers own HP by the amount of ones that is decreased. This one, not too bad. PvP wise, I guess it's kind of okay. But I like the fact that her kit isn't based around PvP. You can use it in pretty much anything, right? Story. If you are struggling Trinity Cave, you can use that because you'll keep a character alive. And then also, I guess, in everything, right? Guild bosses, if a character dies, I think you lose that on some rewards. So if you keep that person alive, it's not too bad, especially for 3 turns. They're pretty much invincible. So yeah, overall, not too bad. I think I actually do like this red one, and her stats are, I guess, her stats are kind of the same. And yeah, I guess we're gonna put her into A. I think she's alright in A, you know, because if you look at these guys here, the overall just solid characters you can use in any quest, and I think she fits well. I think the fact that her passive is quite good and you keep characters alive. So yeah, raid bosses, not gonna use her in guild. You wouldn't use her in guild, but you can use it in all death matches, which is pretty good. You can use it in story mode. Story mode, if they're going to keep on targeting a person, you're pretty much invincible for 3 turns. So if you are struggling at that point, like if you use this onto Meliodas, who's 1 HP, and then Meliodas has a counter, and then that person, like say like Hendrickson for example, attacks the Meliodas who has 1 HP, Meliodas is going to pretty much insta-kill. So I think in story mode she's quite good if you compare it with Meliodas. And once again, the passive can hurt you since you are going to take more damage. But the fact that she has the blaze effect, which is yeah, it's going to do tons of damage since it does do two ignites. So you're doing 50% more damage on her tier 1 card. And yeah, overall a pretty good character, I think. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Not too much. I mean, quite a few changes. I think in the future, most things shouldn't change since I guess we're learning more about the game. But I think overall it's pretty decent. The main guys up here you want to be using, as well as leveling up. I guess all in S, A, and B, you probably want to level up everyone in S and A, to be fair, because they have a lot of uses, especially Valenti being used quite a bit in the guild bosses, Medios for story mode, King for just death matches, King and Helbram. Overall, just using them two as a team is pretty decent as well, even in PvP. And yeah, these guys up top just dominating every single thing, and just they're constantly being used. Farming teams, guild bosses, death matches, PvP, anything. These guys are just the ones to go towards. And yeah, I think that about does it. So what was it, 5 new characters this month? We got 2 Monasculars. Obviously, literally in 3 days, we're gonna get the red Escanor. So I can see, depending on how things go, I can see Escanor and no, would Escanor go to S? Would he beat green one? I don't think he's better. I think he has his uses, but I still think Sunshine Escanor might be a bit better. But we have to wait and see. I haven't tested him, obviously. I ain't really played him. He had a coin shop, so you can get him for free, essentially. But yeah, I think that about does it. Let me know what you think of the tier list. I think it's about normal. So like usually we like to check this tier list to see how it pairs up. They didn't. Okay, so we don't have SS. We just have S, right? So I guess these old guys here are kind of an SS if you're technically thinking about it. They did put King into A, which, I mean, we put it one below A. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of fine. Where's the Monasculars? Okay, so red Monascular is in A, and then the blue one is in B. So, yeah, the red one's definitely better than blue. We put ours in C, and then we put ours in also... Oh, no, wait, we put ours in... Yeah, C and then A. So, yeah, a big difference between them two. If you pull the red one, you're blessed. But then again, you could just bought her when she does come out in the coin shop next week. And, yeah, I mean, I think that's overall a solid tier list. These guys at top being must-use picks in every single thing. And, yeah, I think that about does it. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. It should be a short one, even though I'm going to edit it down quite a bit. But, yeah, definitely a short one since there weren't that many things to talk about. And, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and peace.